sequence series, and I posted this worksheet on Facebook. Make sure you guys print this out and bring it with you. Alright, we're going to talk about arithmetic and geometric sequences. Okay, where's an arithmetic sequence? Okay. For example, if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's an arithmetic sequence. Okay, you can have like 2, 4, 6, 8. It's an arithmetic sequence. Why? Because I'm adding a number to get the next one. Let's say you have 5, 10, 15, okay, 20, so on and so forth. That's an arithmetic sequence. My difference in each one here is 5. My difference in each one here is 2. My difference in each one here is 1. Okay, this is known as the first term. We'll call that a sub 1. That is the first term. We'll call that a sub 1. We'll call that a sub 1. So the arithmetic sequence looks like this: a sub 1, comma a sub 2 for the second term, a sub 3, so on and so forth. Okay, any given term all the way to a sub n, a random term in the sequence. Okay, but the difference has to be the same all the way through. Now it could be, we could subtract, so we can go 5, comma 0, negative 5, negative 10, okay, negative 15, so on and so forth. Okay, my difference here happens to be negative 5, and my a sub 1 happens to be 5. Okay. Alright. So, the question comes, how do you find any particular term? Let's say you have, that's number 1 here, you have a 34, 24, 14, and 4. Okay, and they want us to find the 52nd term. Well, we know what the difference is. It looks like it's going down by 10 each time. So my difference happens to be negative 10. You can sit there and just go first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and go until you hit the 52nd term. Keep subtracting 10, okay, each time, and you can get there, but you want to have a formula. And here's the formula. Okay, the first term of arithmetic sequence is a sub 1. The second term is just the first term plus a difference. And then the third term is the second term plus another difference. But that's a sub 2. The second term is that. So you're going to get a sub 1 plus a difference, which is a sub 1 plus 2 differences. You'll see a pattern in a second. And then a sub 4 is nothing more than a sub 3 plus a difference. But a sub 3 is that, so that means you're going to get a sub 1 plus 3 differences. Okay? And so it looks like every time you find a term, there's going to be one less difference. So a sub 5 is going to be a sub 1 plus n minus 1 excuse me. I'm jumping the gun here. Okay, 5 minus 1. Okay, which is 4d. So a sub 6 is going to be a sub 1 plus 5d. So therefore, a sub n is going to be a sub 1 plus n minus 1 difference. And this is the formula we're going to use, okay, for arithmetic sequence. You can find any term. So let's go find this term, 52nd term, using that formula. So we want to find a sub 52, which is going to be a sub 1. We know that to be 34. That's my a sub 1. So that's 34 plus n minus 1, which is going to be 52 minus 1, times the difference, which is negative 10. So this is going to be 34 plus 51 times negative 10, which is going to give me 34, okay, minus 510. Okay, so we take our handy dandy calculator. Okay, 510, subtract 34 from it, and then it's going to turn out to be a negative 476. Okay, so the 52nd term, if you keep going, is going to turn out to be negative 476. Okay, so that's number 1. So let's go to number 4. number 4, you're given a sub 1, which is negative 10, and you're given d is equal to negative 2. Okay? They want you to find the explicit formula, find the 52nd term. Again, we're finding 52nd term. So my formula is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 difference. That's my formula. So a sub 52 turns out to be negative 10 plus 52 minus 1 times negative 2. Okay, and when you calculate that, okay, this turns out to be negative 10 and plus 51 times negative 2 is going to give me 102. Okay, so that's going to give me negative 112. Alright? That is my 52nd term. And there's your explicit formula for that. Alright, so let's go to number 7. In number 7, they tell us a sub 34 is negative 296 and d is equal to negative 10, and they want you to find the 52nd term. Okay. Alright, so now, you know the difference, that's easy, but you don't know what a sub 1 is. You need to know what a sub 1 is. Okay, if you can find a sub 1, then you can use the formula that we have right here. Without a sub 1, we're in trouble. But we do know the 34th term. So we're going to go back and use that formula. So we know a sub 34, which is equal to, okay, negative 296. And that has to equal to the first term, which is a sub 1, plus, okay, n minus 1. In this situation, it would be 34 minus 1, which is 33, times the difference, and we know the difference to be negative 10. So I get negative 296 is equal to a sub 1 minus, okay, 330. Okay, so we're going to take the 330 to the other side. So that will be 330 minus 296, and then when you do that, you're going to get a sub 1 is equal to 34. As soon as you can find a sub 1, you can find our a sub 52, and then that is equal to 34 plus, okay, 51, because it's going to be 1 less than that, times the difference, which is negative 10, which will give you 34, okay, minus 510, so 510 minus 34, okay, which is 476, negative. Okay, now let's move on down to the next. Okay, this one they tell us a sub 20 is equal to negative 155, and they tell us a sub 35 is equal to negative 275. Okay, and they want us to find the 52nd term. Okay, well, do we know what a sub 1 is? No. Do we know what difference is? No. But in our formula, we need those. So my formula is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 difference. And I don't even know what, well, I know n is 52nd. Okay, now, when you get something like this, okay, you have to just treat that as a sub 1 as a first term. And then from 20 to 35, this will be the 16th term. So if you count 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, all the way to 35, this would be a sub 16, okay, is equal to negative 275. Okay, now we're going to use this formula right here. And we know what a sub 16 is, negative 275. And now, since we're calling this the first term, which is negative 155, plus n minus 1, which is, since this is 16th term we're using, that will be 15. 16 minus 1 is 15. times the difference, which I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to solve for d. Okay, I'm going to take this to the other side. Okay, so when I take that to the other side, I'm going to get 120. Okay, negative 120 is equal to 15d. So I'm going to take 120, negative 120, divide that by 15. Okay, my d turns out to be negative 8. So the difference is negative 8. So I'm going from 20 to 52nd term. Okay, so how many terms is that? Well, 30 minus 20 turned out to be 16 terms. Okay, 52 minus 20, that's 32, so this will be 32nd term. So I'm going to treat this as the first term now. Okay, so from 20 to 52nd, that's going to be 33rd term. So we're finding a sub 33 instead of 52, which is going to turn out to be the same because I'm using this as my starting point. So a sub 33 is going to be negative 155 plus n minus 1, which is 33 minus 1, okay, times the difference, which I found out to be negative 8. Okay, so this would be negative 155, okay, plus 32 times negative 8. So let's do that. So we're going to go 32 times 8, and then that's negative 256. Okay, and then we're going to add 155, and that's going to give me negative 411. And this is a sub 33 only because we count that's my first term. But so technically my a sub 52 is negative 411. So I really didn't need to find a sub 1 if I could use this as my starting point. That's number 10. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to come to geometric sequence, which is a little different. Okay. So let's clear this. Okay, what's the difference between arithmetic and geometric sequence? Geometric sequence will multiply by a particular number called ratio. Let's say if we multiply everything by 2. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. That's a geometric sequence. This is known as the first term. And then the ratio is the number we're going to multiply by. It could be a fraction. But to find the ratio, we take any number, 8, divided by the previous one, 8 over 4. Okay, or 16 divided by 8, which is the same thing, or 32 divided by 16, you're going to get all of those going to turn into 2. So the ratio is 2. So if you want to find the 52nd term, okay, 52nd term, then you have to keep multiplying by 2 each time and get to the 52nd term. Well, we like to have a formula, so we're going to come up with a formula, and here it is. A sub 1 is the first term, a sub 2 is the first term times some ratio, and a sub 3 is a sub 2 times a ratio, but a sub 2 is really a sub 1 times r, so it would be a sub 1 times r, which is a sub 1 times r squared, and then a sub 4, you see a pattern already, a sub 4 is going to be a sub 1 r to the third, a sub 5 is going to be a sub 1 r to the fourth, so on and so forth. So my general formula is going to be a sub n is going to be a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. And that's my general formula for a geometric sequence. Alright, let's do a few examples of that. Okay, and then we'll call it quits. So this is number 13. Here is negative 3, negative 9, negative 27, negative 81, so on and so forth. And they want me to find the 8th term. The common ratio in the 8th term is the explicit formula. Okay, so the 8th term, now since it's only 8th term, you could actually work it out the long way, but we're going to use the formula because they tell us to do that. Okay, the ratio is any number, let's take negative 9, since it's small, and divide by the one before that, which is negative 3. So the ratio turns out to be positive 3. So that's what we're multiplying everything by. Well, each time we're going to multiply by positive 3. Okay? So that's my a sub 1. Okay? So if I want to, my formula is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. So my a sub 8 is going to be a sub 1, which is negative 3, times r, which is 3, to the n minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, which is negative 3 times 3 to the 7. So this is really 3 to the negative 3 to the 8. Okay, so if the numbers get too big, you can leave it just like that, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and use a calculator. Okay, so that turns out to be negative 6,561. Okay, that is the 8th term of this geometric sequence. Alright, let's move on down to the next problem. This is 16. Okay, they give us a sub 1 is equal to 1. They give us ratios equal to 2. And they want you to find the first term, common ratio, find the 8th term. Okay, given the first term. Okay, find the 8th term. Well, that's easy. So a sub 8 is going to be first term, which is 1, times r, which is 2 to the 7th. Okay, so 2 to the 7th, 2 raised to the power of 7, turns out to be 128, so it'll be 128. That was easy. Okay, let's go to 19. Okay, they give us a sub 5, okay, and they tell us it's negative 324, okay, and they say r is equal to negative 3, and they want you to find the 8th term. Okay, so if you want to find 8th term, this is a sub 5, got a sub 6, a sub 7, okay, and a sub 8. There are 4 of those. So since we don't have a sub 1, we're going to treat that as a sub 1. Since there are 4 of these terms, my n is going to equal to 4. Okay, and we're going to treat that as a sub 1 now, and we can find the 8th term. So a sub 8 is really a sub 1, which is negative 324, and then the ratio, which is given negative 3, there it is, and instead of writing 8 minus 1, we're going to write 4 minus 1, because we started at 5. Okay, so when you take 4, then this really simplifies to negative 324 times negative 3 to the 3rd power, and that's really negative 324 times negative 27. So when you multiply 324 times 27, okay, which is going to give us positive 8,748. Okay, positive. Alright, yeah, it gets big really fast. Okay, we're almost done here, so I want to do one more problem, which is number 22. Okay, the last section here. So this is number 22 on your worksheet. Okay, in this particular problem, they give us a sub 6 is equal to 1,024, and then they tell us a sub 2 is equal to 4, and they want you to find the 8th term. Okay, and with using a formula. Okay, they don't give us a ratio, so we don't know what that ratio is. Okay, so we do know the second term is that. So got a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, a sub 5, a sub 6. So really, we have 5 terms in this particular sequence. This happens to be 4, and this happens to be 6. So we're going to treat this, okay, as the first term. So we're going to use the formula a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. And we're going to treat this as 6th term, so 1024. Okay, and the next one is a sub 1, since we're treating that as first term, we're going to have 4. And the ratio, I don't know what that is, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so n minus 1 would be 5 minus 1. Okay, so you have 1024 is equal to 4 times r to the 4th. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. So 1024 over 4 is equal to r to the 4th. So we are going to go 1, 0, 2, 4, divide that by 4, which turns out to be 256. So this now becomes r to the 4th is equal to 256. Okay, so we have to take a 4th root of that. So I'm going to go 256 equal to 256 to the 1/4 power. That's what I have to do. Okay, so 256 is that to 1 divided by 4. Okay, now we're going to get this. This turns out to be 4. R is equal to 4. Okay, that's it. Okay, make sure you bring the printout.